today. So we're going to start with budget presentation. So this is for the budget year that starts July 1st. Let me pull up my screen for a sec. No, not share, present. You think I do this all the time? All right, so in this budget presentation, we're looking at all the local expenses for the next year. And the way it breaks down is the GEA's budget is relatively lean. We try to keep it as small as possible so that we're not asking members to go, above and beyond what their dues here. Most of our budget goes towards salary and compensation for the executive committee, the negotiations team, PR&R, and building reps. The rest, we've got administrative expenses, membership events, grants, which is like scholarships, gifts, retirement presents, and finally taxes at 6%. So if members are asking about the budget, the big item is salaries and compensation. The way we do salaries and compensation in the GEA is we do it as a percentage of, percentage of the master step 6, right? So whenever the master step 6 increases, so does the compensation for the executive committee, PR&R committee, negotiations team, and webmaster. So that's 20 members. And so any changes to our salary schedule also causes an increase in member dues. Right? Now, for tax-free grants, building reps don't have a salary. You get a tax-free grant of $99 per year, and it's $99 because anything above that we have to start paying taxes on additionally, issuing W-2s and things like that, which would cost us a lot more money in the long run. So the way we do it is the 31 building reps at $99 each. You also get half dues, which is actually pretty substantial when you start thinking about how much dues are, including NEA and CEA dues. So our salaries and compensation include our salaries, tax-free grants, the $99 each, and then that dues reduction. So that's a 50% dues reduction for all 31 building reps, the 20 on the leadership, and then there's one building rep that's also on negotiations, so then that crosses over, and we don't give you 0% dues, you just get the 50%, right? So that works out to the president and PR&R chair both get 10% of Master Step 6. The PR&R committee, there's 3 members at 1% of Master Step 6. And then FMLA liaison with that specific job has 2%. Vice president, recording secretary, and treasurer have their percentages listed. So we've got our proposed amounts there. Right. All in all, so salaries increased by $811 from last year, and that's all from that increase to Master Step 6. Right? So salaries increase, that's good. The tax-free grants increased by $99 from last year, and that's because we had one extra building rep, which is great. So when we put this all together, it works out to our dues reduction increased by $850 because we had the one extra building rep, so that's there. Right? All right, so for administrative expenses, not too many changes here. So that includes payroll service fees. So it costs money to issue W-2s. Postage is $25. Utilities, we used to have a phone utility for Mark and Jeremy, and that was $100. That decreased to $0. We've got printing, and then the 0 for refreshments. What Jen had suggested was last year we didn't use the $300 for building refreshments that we were going to. So we've already charged members $300. We'll take the $300 from last year, apply it towards next year, and be able to minimize their dues. Right? So administrative expenses decreased this year. It decreased by $400. We actually, for conferences and travel, don't set aside money at the beginning of the year because we don't know who's interested. And we also have a pretty sizable reserve that we can draw from if people are interested in doing the CEARA or the NEARA or summer leadership or new teacher conferences. So that's 0% of the budget. 1% of the budget is our new teacher reception. And even though we didn't physically have one this year, we did give gifts and reach out to all our new teachers to the district. So that $600 will apply in next year as well. For grants, we normally give a gift to the teacher of the year, but last year we were all teacher of the year. So we took the money that would have normally gone to that and moved it to this year. So that's down to $0 for the next year budget. We have $1,000 for retirement gifts, the GEA scholarship, the Diverse Voices in Education scholarship, and then the Connecticut Education Foundation golf tournament. So that's like grants and gifts. Right? So we predict no major changes in taxes here. So we're setting aside $4,450, so no major changes there. Which brings our total budget, if we include about $66,000 for salaries, $2,500 for administrative expenses, $600 for membership events, $3,600 for grants, $4,450 for taxes, comes out to about $76,987, and it increased by about $2,600 from last year, mainly for that increase in salary. I had one more slide. My bad. So where our dues come from members, then when we start calculating that amount, is we look at the NEA dues, the CEA dues, and the GEA dues. So all the stuff we were talking about just now is just GEA. So CEA, depending on how it goes after the CEARA, is looking for about $8 increase in dues. NEA is looking for about a $2 increase in dues. Ours is going to be about $4. Both of the NEA and CEA additions are still to be announced, still to be determined. So when those representative assemblies occur, then we'll have those numbers solidly and we'll be able to calculate out exactly how much members will owe for dues. I know that was a lot. What can I help with? What questions do you have so far?